Okay, good morning everyone. I'm not hearing this morning is full of energy. Once again, good morning everyone. Okay, good morning distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here at BINUS University at Alam Sutra and lodging in virtually from around the world. Welcome to the International Conference on Technology, Innovation and Management 2025. May we have a round of applause for this international seminar for today. My name is Regan, and it's an honor to be your master of ceremony for this pivotal event. Before we commence, we would like to recognize and offer our deepest appreciation to the distinguished leaders and dignitaries who have taken the time to grace us with their presence today. Professor Peter John Warner from Tohoku University, Japan. Good morning, Prof. Yes? Okay. And the second is Professor Dr. Ko Ah Chu from Multimedia University, Malaysia. And also Vice President of BINUS Higher Education and BINUS Online Director, Professor Dr. Hajanto Prabowo, MM. Director of BINUS University, Dr. Nelly Eskom, MM. And Vice Rector of Research and Technology Transfer, Professor Dr. Juneman Abraham, SC, MC. Good morning. All the BINUSian leaders, and warm welcome to all invitees, faculty members, students, ladies and gentlemen. For today, for now, we will sing the national anthem Indonesia Raya, so please be rise. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, the International Conference on Technology, Innovation and Management is a hybrid platform bringing together a global community of researchers, industry experts, and policymakers to explore the intersection of technology, innovation, and management, the very domain that are shaping sustainable progress in the digital era. We anticipate 2 days of insightful discussion, groundbreaking research, and invaluable networking. We trust you have to pick up your conference kit and are settled in for an amazing day. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to deliver our welcome remarks and formally set the stage for our discussion, please welcome to the podium a respected academic at BINUS University, Professor Juneman Abraham as a Vice Rector, Research and Technology Transfer. We also inform that our Rector, Ibu Nelly, and our Director of BINUS Online, Prof. Harjanto, currently having a parallel session and send their regards for all keynote speaker and all participants. The time is yours, Prof.
To the Honorable Dr. Nelly, Director of BINUS University, Professor Dr. Insinyur Harjanto Prabowo, the Director of BINUS Online, Professor Peter John Weiner from Tohoku University, Japan, Professor Dr. Ko Ah-cho from Multimedia University, Malaysia, Professor Anita Maharani from BINUS Business School, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all participants. I extend a warm welcome to everyone, both those joining us on site here at impressive BINUS at Alam Sutera Campus and thus connecting online from around the globe. I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome you all to the International Conference on Technology, Innovation and Management, or ICTIM 2025. We gather today amidst the artificial intelligence revolutions, a force rapidly changing how we work, innovate, and manage. The world is moving incredibly fast, and we are here to discuss how technology, innovation, and management must adapt to the pace. The true competitive advantage in the AI era is not merely adopting the technology, but strategically fostering an organizational culture that accelerates human AI collaboration and dynamic capability creation. This insight reminds us that success lies not just in the tools, but in the strategy and people. There are at least 6 highlights for a brilliant future from this conference, I think. The first is our vision, fostering and empowering the society. This event is a tangible realization of the BINUS University vision to foster and empower the society. We believe that today's knowledge sharing is the key to creating a wider positive impact tomorrow. The second, of course, BINUS Online or Beyond, where flexibility is the strength. As the organizer, we are proud of BINUS Online or Beyond, which prove that education can be flexible study, enhanced career, or kuliah fleksibel, karir meningkat. Applause for Beyond. We apply this flexibility to ICTIM 2025, which is held a hybrid format because we value all of your time and effort. And the third, of course, is BINUS Alam Sutera, the best environment for collaboration. For those joining us on site, please enjoy this modern and inspiring BINUS at Alam Sutera Campus. This place is designed to encourage collaborations, networking, and the birth of brilliant ideas. And the fourth, the important thing is that the open science mission of BINUS Research and Technology Transfer. We are committed to open science mission championed by BINUS RTT or Research and Technology Transfer. Knowledge should not be confined. We want to ensure that your research outputs are accessible and widely beneficial to the global community. And the fifth, global presence. Premium quality, this is outstanding. We received about 255 paper submissions from various prestigious institutions, including Greenwich University, Vietnam, Quest International University, Taylor's University, Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University, Mechanical Engineering University Malaya, University Tunku Abdul Rahman, University Malaysia Kelantan, Iloilo University, Cologne Business School, and from Indonesia, Airlangga, Pajajaran, Perbanas Institute, Dharma Persada University, Gunadarma University, Telkom University, Trisakti Institute of Transportation and Logistics, Universitas Pelita Harapan, and also Universitas Multimedia Nusantara. This confirms the global quality of our event. While the selection process was stringent with a high 54% rejection rate, we are proud to have about 116 accepted papers from the highest quality. And last but not least, enlightening keynote speakers. Prepare to be inspired. We will hear illuminating insight from our world-class keynote speakers. Today, we are fortunate to have complementary perspective. First, from Mr. Peter John Warner, we will learn from the story of Higashi Matsushima, a case study on resilience, transformation, and sustainable tourism, which is highly relevant to the SDG-based community empowerment efforts we are actively pursuing at BINUS University. Subsequently, Professor Ko Ah Cho will take us to the forefront of frontier technology, thoroughly examining how generative AI can become a responsible collaborator to boost the productivity of our digital talents. A crucial discussion for strengthening the digital entrepreneurship DNA among BINUSians. By combining this insight on social transformation and mastery of leading-edge technology, we can discover new way to nurture and empower society. And then, of course, from Prof. Anita Maharani, she is a scientist in the field of human capital management. And specifically for our Gen Z students, you are the absolute driving force behind this transformation. You are the digital native who are inherently turned into the fast-paced rhythm of frontier technology and AI. Innovation doesn't just happen in a professor's lab. The most disruptive ideas are often born from your entrepreneurial spirit and unstoppable creativity. Please seize today's opportunity to sharpen your growth mindset, take an active role in high-impact research, and ensure every piece of technology you develop is built to empower the society. That is the core mission of BINUS University. So ladies and gentlemen, let's make these 2 days a platform for exchanging knowledge, celebrating innovation, and building strong networks. Happy conferencing, let us work together to create brighter future for technology and management. The future is now, let's innovate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Chineman. We now pause momentarily for our official group photo session. For all distinguished speaker, leaders, and present on site, please rise and face the stage. The team will take a picture from the stage. Please be rise, everyone. Okay, so many photographers here. So, okay, ready? Okay, sure, count on me. Okay, so count on me on 3, 2, 1. Once more. 3, 2, 1. Okay. That's good, all? Okay, thank you very much. Oh, yeah, once more. because BINUS Online have a sign like this, so we can take a picture with this sign. Ah, okay. Okay. Count on me. 3, 2, 1. Okay? Great. Okay, thank you everyone. You can back to your seat. And we will jump into our first session for our keynote speaker. So our first keynote speaker is joining us all the way from Japan. He is an acclaimed expert in bilingual education, linguistics, and neurology. Please give a warm welcome to Professor Peter John Warner from Tohoku University, Japan. So this session will be moderated by Dr. Joyce Yulinda Luke, please.
Good morning, everyone. Excellencies, honorable speakers, presenters, faculty members, and also students. Welcome to the International Conference on Technology, Innovation, and Management, or ICTIM 2025, hosted by BINUS Online. My name is Joyce Yulinda Luke, and I'm honored to serving as your moderator for today's plenary session. Excellencies, distinguished speakers, presenters, ladies and gentlemen, let's imagine a number of 1.1 billion tourists once visited Higashi Matsushima, a city thriving on its stunning coastal beauty every year. But in March 2011, the tsunami swept away not just homes and infrastructure, but also its tourism-driven future. For many, this would have been the end, but not for Higashi Matsushima. By 2025, it had earned the title Best Tourism Village, where visitors can walk to the Michinoku Sea Vine Trail and watch the Blue Impulse air shows. This city did not just rebuild, but also it evolved. Today, we will unpack this resilience factor, the incredible journey from tragedy to a triumph, from mass tourism to a sustainable community-driven vision. To guide us through this story of transformation, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Professor Peter John Warner from Graduate School of International Cultural Studies, Tohoku University, Japan. He is a leading expert in cultural studies, bilingualism, neurology, and also business management. Today, he will give his seminal work, The Resilience Factor and Development of Tourism in Higashi Matsushima, in the first round of the keynote talk of plenary ICTIM 2025.
Can I say?
Yes.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we listen from Prof. Banner, let me inform to all of us here that our keynote speech today will last for 25 minutes. And after that, we will proceed to the Q&A session for about 10 minutes. So without further ado, let's welcome Prof. Banner to deliver his keynote speech. Prof. Banner, the time is yours.
First of all, I would like to thank BINUS University for inviting me here. So today I want to talk to you about how a community can strive and develop to be very effective in the future. So let's move to the next slide. thingy there, okay? So this is Matsushima. Matsushima is about 800 islands, but I know you're familiar to a lot of islands here also in Indonesia. But this is the islands. This is one of the most beautiful areas in Japan with a large group of islands. And basically we have the very beautiful scenery, and we had a lot of beautiful temples and shrines with gates, but a lot of those disappeared after the tsunami, but we have rebuilt a few of them. Let's go to the next slide. So, as she mentioned, we had 1.2 million tourists in 2010. Now, I'm just giving this as a comparison because this wasn't bad. It was good at that time, and we did well, but the tsunami did affect us very much. Let me go to the next slide, please. So basically, we have the tourism scenic coast. Our coast is very scenic there. And also we had the boat tours. There was many large boats that used to take people out to the islands. Basically, there's a lot of recreation for other people run by businesses in the area. Likewise, we have an island called Okumatshima, and Blue Impulse air shows. They were actually in effect at that time also, but this is basically where the Air Force does flyovers, and people can watch these beautiful air shows in the area. Also, the Sagake Gorge is a beautiful area where you can go and do hiking and see. Next slide. So we have our hikes. We also have a trail along the coastline, which you can see the beautiful area of the coast. And the delicacies of the area that are, the food is delicious in this area. So these are all areas that we wanted to build on and build back up so that the businesses could strive. So how did we do that? Well, for 3 years, the first 3 years was very, very difficult. But we did this with assistance from different organizations and through the government. Next slide, please. So, where did we get this assistance from? How did businesses try to rebuild? Well, we had the local government offices. That's the city government. The city government had to figure out a way to help these businesses if we're all going to fail. Because after the 2011 earthquake, 50% of the businesses went closed. 50% of the businesses closed. And how were they going to maintain keeping the other 50% of the businesses open? Especially small businesses. Small businesses were really struggling. So the city government put a tax on the people in the city, but all the people knew that this was important because the businesses must be there. If we were going to bring business back into the area and strive, we had to suffer also. So we put up with a 10% additional tax by the city government in Sendai alone for all of us that were there. But this money was all funneled into the small businesses. So most of the small businesses didn't make money for 3 years. They all lost money during the first 3 years while they were trying to keep their businesses, just struggling to keep them alive. But the city government provided the difference to cover the losses. So if they lost money, the government would give them that amount of money to keep the businesses going. And this is one of the ways that the city government really strongly helped. But it requires the cooperation of the community and the citizens to understand that this is important. And instead of just leaving the community and moving to another city where the taxes are lower, they continued to stay in Sendai and help build the city up. Secondly, we have the Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce is an organization which became stronger after the tsunami and the earthquake. They tried to bring in new businesses, and a lot of the business the Chamber of Commerce brought in was actually business for rebuilding. Okay, this is good business for a lot of the outside area because they could come in and help rebuild Sendai. This is was a unique opportunity for them. Where did they get? When they came in, they got government assistance through the national government also, to the national government. So the national government provided extra assistance, and with all of this assistance, the small businesses gradually improved. They gradually built up in Sendai. So gradually after 3 years, I would say after 3 years, we had many of the boarded up offices. I used to walk down we had a general mall area, beautiful mall area, with stores on both sides, and 50% of the stores were just closed down and shut down. And half of the buildings were actually not even be able to live in. So the government had to do a lot of reconstruction of the buildings, but with the work of the government, very quick development, this work moved forward, and we were successful. So the government was able to improve on these areas. So there's another couple of areas that the Chamber of Commerce also helped on. How do we bring tourism to a higher level? How can we develop it more? Japan has been an area where disaster actually brings about improvements in many areas. The earthquake in Kobe is an example. Kobe had many improvements after the earthquake because of a lot of infrastructure and governmental assistance. Likewise, when we had the nuclear bomb was dropped after the nuclear bomb was dropped, the area there, the roads and structures were very disorganized, okay? But because the site was just completely destroyed, when they rebuilt the streets and everything, now if you go back down to Hiroshima, Hiroshima is actually one of the most beautiful and organized cities. You don't have to go around in circles and stuff to find your way to where you're going. They have wide streets, and they basically restructured the whole city. They were able to do that because of the disaster. But unfortunately, it wasn't a disaster we wanted to deal with, but they were able to do that. Let's move on to the next slide. These are the boats that are used for our tourism, and they have about 50 in the harbor. It's a very active harbor. These boats were all destroyed with the tsunami, when the tsunami hit. And so, as I said, for 3 years, all these tourism boats, they weren't even operating. They were just in a period of reconstruction, But with the owners of these boats worked hard to get assistance from funds from banks and other areas, and with the government assistance, they were able to build their supply of boats back up so that they could actually provide very strong routes and have a new scenic area to visit. Next slide. So, basically, we had a period of recovery from 2011 to a period of what we call evolution. We evolved. And this is one area of research that I'm working on. I've been going back down to Matsushima, visiting with the businesses, trying to gather data on how they built their businesses up individually. I'm going to be doing, I'm trying to do a publication and talk about individually how each of these assistance areas has assisted those people, and also what are the good things that they felt came out of the earthquake or tsunami, even though it's a disaster we have to deal with. And secondly, now we are reached 40 million. 40 million tourists are now coming to Matsushima. And how did we do that? How did we build that level back up higher? Well, we built it up through a few areas. Let's go to the next slide. So, First of all, the management of transportation. The transportation, the number of trains that used to go out to Matsushima was limited. Probably went once every 30 minutes, and it took about an hour and a half. Likewise, after the earthquake and tsunami, it took over 2 months for the bullet train between Tokyo and Sendai to even get fixed. There was no transportation for 2 months between Sendai and Tokyo, except for going by the expressway through the areas that they could get through. But basically, the frequency of the trains was increased, and they made a rapid train from Sendai, and this made it possible. Now you can go to from Matsushima. You can go to Matsushima from Sendai within 45 minutes on a rapid train, and they have a rapid train once every 30 minutes. Likewise, they still have the local trains traveling every 15 minutes if you want to take an hour and a half and drop off at every single city between one stop to the other. If you have a chance to come to Sendai, we're having we have a seminar there in August, which is close to Tohoku University, and it'll be in the main hall. But one day we'll have a seminar and presentations by lecturers on interdisciplinary areas of many disciplines. And basically, if you attend that lecture or presentation, or do presentation, you can go the next day, the second day of that, we have a tour to Matsushima. And to actually see the community, see how they actually developed. You can see the museum and follow the process that they actually went through to develop in that area. Also, the Shinkansen from Tokyo to Sendai is 1.5 hours. So the Chamber of Commerce said, if you increase the time from Sendai to Matsushima, it's possible to get to Matsushima within 2.5 hours now. 2.5 hours, you can get to Matsushima by train. And there is no traffic jam, okay? I know it's very common here in Indonesia to take 2.5 hours just by car to go from one area to the other. But this is a very nice travel. So many people can go for one day up to Matsushima, and they can return back to Tokyo if they want. So this is one of the reasons we have so many visitors, because Tokyo is one of the main spots where everybody comes to visit Japan. And the areas that they can visit very easily from Tokyo to the other cities and return, they attract many, many, many visitors. So this is one of the ways that we built up the travel in the area. Likewise, in Sendai City, after 2011, they built an additional subway up to Tohoku University. It used to take us 45 minutes by bus to go from Sendai Station to my university, Tohoku University. Now, if you get to Sendai Station by bullet train, 1.5 hours, you can transfer onto a subway, and you can be at my university in 15 minutes. So the underground subway took 7 years. 7 years to build, but with the financial input from the government, we were able to provide that also. Next slide, please. Okay, so what type of developments in small business did we have in Matsushima? How could they actually make it more attractive? Well, one of the things they have is a music box museum, which has all the they got all the type of different music boxes, like with the French horn and trumpet and other things, built into a automatic operated system from Europe, from the 1800s. They're operated by wind and air. So this museum is quite big and has a wide variety from all over the world. So if you go to Matsushima, this is one of the highlights that they added for businesses there to attract tourists. The other thing that they built was a disaster museum. By going to this disaster museum, you can see what the disaster looked like following the earthquake and tsunami, and then you can see how it looks now compared to before. This can give you a good idea of what you can do in your areas in different countries. If other people from Indonesia come there, they can say, oh, we can possibly do this in Indonesia. Maybe we can develop tourism in this area and work on these areas. These are possible things that you can learn from a visit to the community of Matsushima. Likewise, many new hotels were added because since we have more people going to Matsushima, many people wanted to stay at Matsushima and stay there for 2 or 3 days. So they rebuilt many new hotels around the area, but kept the downtown area still looks very distinct. So the hotels are on the outskirts, so therefore we still have the very local look in Matsushima, which is very important. They want to maintain that. Likewise, they have Airbnb operations have increased in that area. Many of the people who owned houses and stuff there, they were able to rebuild their houses and fix them up and then use them for tourism, renting out for tourism. So you can rent those through Airbnb. I've stayed at a couple myself with a fireplace, with a beautiful view over the ocean. But these type of places have increased, and this also increased the number of tourists coming to this location. And that's why it's made it almost number 3. The last area here is parking locations. Parking used to be very difficult to get locations, or you had to pay for parking. The city actually made a parking area for free. So you can drive up to the Matsushima and you can park for free and visit all the area there. Or you can, if you want to get an area closer to downtown in a parking area, you can go down there and park and visit the city, but you'll have to pay a little bit of money. Next slide. So this is the last area I wanted to talk on today. I work with a BOLT, Balsamo Outreach for Learning and Teaching, is a NGO, non-governmental organization, which I founded in Sendai in 2010, okay? 2010, before the earthquake and tsunami, I founded this organization. And this organization has been doing outreach programs with communities and with other areas to try and encourage collaboration and studies of various areas of human securities, language education, and student awareness of culture. So we've done this with many events, but I'm just going to tell you about the one event that's happening, which is a summer school for students, or the seminars that we have for teachers who would like to go there and do a presentation in their area of specialties. We did in 2 years ago, we had it at Tohoku University, and we just actually published the plenary, proceedings from that seminar with about 15 people's articles which were accepted, okay? That's been published. But basically, if you go here, we will be actually traveling to some different places. Tokyo City University will be at the Tohoku International Interdisciplinary Seminar, which will be held at the main hall for 1 day. We'll have a Matsushima site visit and going to see the community, and you can actually taste the cuisine and the different areas down there. And it'll build awareness of the community, and we'll also be going to Akita University, which is up to the north, so you can see how they were affected from the earthquake and how they built up their area also. So this is something we invite you to come to if you'd like to. Basically, the fee is very nominal for the registration. The only thing you have to pay for is your hotel and your lodging, and transportation. And I shouldn't say only, that's expensive, but if you can manage that and set it up, I highly encourage you to come to Sendai and please visit us. There are many hotels in Sendai. If you go online, you can find a lot of discounts. Many of my colleagues have gotten hotel rooms for as low as 3,000 yen, because of discounts they got through hotel.com or booking.com. There's a lot of competition between the hotels in Sendai, so it's a very good place to stay in that case. Likewise, the yen is weak now. Okay, the yen is very weak, so it's a good opportunity for Indonesia to go because your Indonesia rupiah is stronger than it used to be. So I strongly encourage anybody that would like to come to this, please check your, if you go to your search mechanism, Balsamo Outreach for Learning and Teaching, BOLT. You can just type in BOLT, okay? B-O-L-T. But for BOLT, you might find many bolts. So you might want to type in Balsamo, B-A-L-S-A-M-O, Balsamo Outreach for Learning and Teaching, So we try to reach out and try to encourage the community to become involved and to be collaborative with researchers and students. And that is one of the goals we've had for Balsamo Outreach for Learning and Teaching. So with that, I think, next slide, I think that's finished. Okay, that's yes, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Peter, for the insightful presentations. We really honored your contributions and also your presentations. So, Excellencies, honorable guests, presenters, and ladies and gentlemen, now we have proceeded to Q&A session. It is about 10 minutes, and if you would like to ask questions from this room, you may raise your hand and I will call on you. And while you are asking your question, please state your name and your affiliation. So for the first part, we are open for 2 questions from the on-site participants. Is there any questions? Yes. Prof. Peter, you may have a seat.
Hello, thank you so much, Prof. Warner, for your presentations. My name is Liana from Management Department, BINUS Online, Bina Nusantara University. So basically, just now you mentioned that 2010, so you have about 1.2 million of tourists. And then, how about now? For the
40 million now.
40 million now?
Yeah, in 1 year. Yes.
In 1 year?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so it's mean like it's a mass tourist now in the Matsushima area.
Yes, we mass tourism in Matsushima. It's like I said, it became the 3rd most popular tourist site in Japan.
Tourist site in Japan,
Yes,
right? So
yeah.
it's very interesting because I also really love to visit Japan. But my question is, when you want to say like tourism sustainability, so which part, or maybe like what kind of the activities or what kind of the regulations that the government need to announce to, need to do for sustainability tourism in Matsushima, and then the tour operator and then all the tourism stakeholders need to follow also to the government regulations, so on and so on. Maybe about that one. Thank you.
Well, what's important for any tourist site is to keep the site in its natural beauty. And so the government has to set regulations to maintain that beauty at the same time while knowing which areas you can build up outside. So, for example, if it was companies or something, they want to develop some type of companies to build machines or something in that area, that would have to be moved to the outside of the village area. They would not be able to do that down in the village area of Matsushima itself. So these regulations should be put into effect to protect the environment of the, and maintain the tourist attraction to the site. We have this in place in many cities. not Matsushima. Kyoto is another famous city that people love to go to. And Kyoto, for example, has the building structures are limited to four or five stories high. But you can't have any buildings higher than that in the Sendai city. They have not Sendai city. I'm talking about Tokyo, Kyoto. I'm sorry. So, but anyway, with Matsushima, basically the government places regulations, and at the same time they provided, continue to provide assistance for small businesses through loans or other areas. These are still available because they're still continually trying to keep pace with the large number of tourists that are coming down there. The second thing that they work with is internationalization, signage. The signage has been changed. It used to be in hiragana, katakana when I first was there in 2011, which I can read fine, but most Indonesians or other international people cannot read. And they, so instead of just having the kanji, hiragana, and katakana on the signs, they actually added the romaji, which is the Roman characters. And so if you travel through any area, they made it possible to actually understand where you're going with the Roman characters. Even the streets, they put Roman characters on the signs on the streets and locations. So if you use your, they worked highly with the Google Maps. So they wanted people to be able to move from one location to the other on their own by looking at the signs. And so they made it more effective for people to travel and go by themselves. So it's very effective and easy to travel in Japan now. Anybody who can read with the Roman characters and has a cell phone can get around with a Google Maps if they're trying to find a location. Just type in the location and you can get there. So this has been another way that they have actually made it easier to get around in the area and maintain. These are some examples.
Thank you, Prof. Werner, and also thank you, Bu Liana, for the questions. Now let's...
Hi, Prof. Peter. I'm Sabar from BINUS Online Management Department. I'm happy to know that in the city that the people doesn't want to move outside. Rather than relocating, they stay there. And I'm happy to know that the government giving their basic needs during hard times. But I really want to know, were there any social norms or social bonds or social values that makes them want to stay besides relocating? I don't think that basic needs is just enough for them.
Right. No.
Yeah. Thank you.
I believe that, how would I say it? I think that basically the people who felt that they wanted to stay there because it was their home. It was their home and they really didn't want to go somewhere else. Felt their best option was to just survive, okay? So even though it was difficult, it was very difficult. It was after, I mean, we didn't have water or electricity for so long following the earthquake. It was quite a long time. But and it was also very cold in the winter. We had no gas, so it was very difficult to survive in that time. And I know, but the people came back. Some might have gone out just for the first 2 or 3 months when the disaster was so bad, moved their families to other areas, which is what I did. And then I came back to the city and I survived with bare necessities, but brought my family back after I was able to get electricity and gas and all the things back again. So, but I think it's something like a strong, Japanese have strong will, that they will survive at anything and give up. They will give up whatever they have to survive. And they still have that strong will now. Right now, we struggle in many ways, in some ways because the Japanese yen has just dropped tremendously, and it cost me maybe 1.5 times now to travel and do whatever I want outside Japan. But even in Japan, it's been much more of a struggle to survive, but we still have this mentality that we can survive. We can survive with less. We can survive with less and the minimum. And with that type of a idea about life, it is easier to sustain yourself and your family. Where other people might feel like, oh, we have to have all these things. We can't survive without them. But Japanese have a mentality where, well, if we have to struggle for 3-4 years, we will do it in the long run. Japan looks at the long run. They don't look at the short term. And this is the same thing with the taxes. The taxes were looked at as a long-term thing. It was going to take a while for us to pay for all these things the government got back. But over the long term, it was going to pay off. And it has paid off for Matsushima and for Sendai.
Can I have one more question,
Yes.
Prof? Interestingly to know that they have strong willpower. Yeah. The next question in my mind, I just think about the situation in Japan. That there are over-tourism. They have over-tourism, but also there are lots of disasters.
Yes.
And this risky thing, I don't think it's easy for them to manage their risk. Because if they decide to set the price, they need to think about the long term after the disaster happened.
Yes, yes.
Is there any role of the government on helping the small businesses or small hotels or also the big hotel on setting the price? Because it is over tourism, the price should be lower, and they cut it a big.
Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned because about the discount also. Yeah. Thank you.
The Japan government does help out a lot. Even now, Japan government helps out with when the yen decreased, the Japanese government provided extra money to the small businesses to keep the food prices down in the restaurants and stuff. So many people who come to Japan wonder, why are the food prices about the same in the restaurants? They haven't increased so much as you would if you go to America or other areas. The prices are increased. But in Japan, the government puts a lot of money towards helping the small businesses and the companies that are there. And some people say, oh, our taxes are being used for this money. But it's because of the taxes that they are able to keep the food prices and the other areas low. So I guess there's a good point and a bad point. If we were in another country like in America, just let the prices rise and let people pay the higher price. And the government's not going to collect taxes to try and keep the prices down. But in Japan, the government tries to intervene, and they will somehow provide money or assistance to these like benefits and taxes so that the businesses will be able to keep their prices low for food. So they have incentives and offers in those ways.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Werner, and also thank you for the participants who asked questions. So now we have come to the end of our session. But before I end the sessions, allow me to sum up some key takeaways from our first keynote session today. Higashi Matsushima successfully transformed from a region devastated by the 2011 tsunami into a globally recognized model of sustainable tourism. This success was driven by a strategic shift from traditional mass tourism to a model that prioritized community resilience, environmental stewardship, and local economic well-being. So that's the end of our first session, Bapak Ibu. So please give applause to Prof. Werner. Now I leave it to our MC.
Okay.
Bapak
Thank you
Regan.
very much, Dr. Joyce, and thank you for Prof. Werner. You may have a seat first. It's okay. You can go back to the seat. So, ladies and gentlemen, for all participants, we will have a break for around 15 minutes. So hopefully you can back here again on 10:20 to go to our next session or our second keynote speaker. Thank you.
From West Java, Indonesia. Cincang Kling.
Okay, welcome back everyone. We are ready to dive into the second keynote speaker for today. Moving forward, our second keynote speaker is a distinguished professor from Malaysia, specializing in design research in creative multimedia and digital innovation for education and students' well-being. Please welcome Professor Koo Ah Choo from Multimedia University, Malaysia. And also this session will be moderated by Dr. Joyce Yulinda Luke. Please.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the International Conference on Technology, Innovation and Management, or ICTIM 2025, hosted by BINUS Online. My name is Joyce Yulinda Luke, and I'm honored to serve as your moderator for the second plenary session. Here we are with Professor Koo Ah Choo. Yeah. And please welcome to the Professor Koo Ah Choo. So let's be clear. The AI transformation is not a distant prediction. It is our current reality actively reshaping every industry and every role in this room. The question is no longer if AI will change our job, but how we will adapt and lead within this new landscape. For every digital talent in this room, a pressing question emerges. In an age where machines are getting smarter, what is the enduring value of our human talent? Are we partners with this technology, or are we at risk of becoming obsolete? The answers, of course, lies not in competing with AI, but in redefining ourselves alongside with it. The key is a new paradigm for talent development, one that blends technological fluency with irrepressible human skills. So to guide us through these transformations, please again, Bapak Ibu, we are honored to welcome our second keynote speaker, Prof. Koo Ah Choo from Center for Interaction and Experience Design, Faculty of Creative Multimedia, Multimedia University, Cyberjaya, Malaysia. Okay. Please welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Joyce, for a wonderful introduction about me. Can I stand?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me as a keynote speaker for this conference. So appreciation, I would like to say appreciation to BINUS University. And this is the topics, digital talents development in AI transformation era. The topics is very close to my heart because of my roles as a professor, as a lecturer in my work, and therefore I'm strongly connected to these topics. All right, this work is actually based on the projects that I work funded by the Ministry of Higher Education. Can I go to the next slide? Looking at this slide, it shows the evolution of interactive technologies that I have been working on for my past 27 years, which is nearly to 3 decades of my work, in which I have the experience to venture into the early technologies of multimedia and CD-ROM technologies, and some early web development that I have been involved in teaching my students. And after that, another few decades, it comes another revolution of Web 2.0 and rich internet application. That time, macromedia, Flash was very popular at that time. And later, some years later, here come the mobile devices and the mobile learning, mobile technologies that enable personalizations for our work, our teaching. And one breakthrough innovation is about the touch screen and the touch interactions, coupled with gesture-based interaction. So those are phenomenon at that time. And then there is another revolution come where we can immerse into the technological and virtual world through XR technology, which is virtual reality and augmented reality technologies. That is one story. Now, what's happened now is personalized with intelligence, interactivity, in which it is the AI revolution, which is coming, and I expect, and many other AI gurus also expecting a lot of innovation based on this technology. With that, I want to credit Google Gemini for generating this diagram with my alteration. So I got to be more transparent on my work. This is the kind of values that we need in this AI world. Next, huh? And the inception of AI is due to some breakthrough of technologies in the work of machine learning and improvement of machine learning and the importance of neural networks and some technicality on that. And with the availability of the large data sets that enable and also supported by cloud computing and its related capability and technologies. So these are the logos. Maybe it's quite familiar to you. So I do not know how many you are familiar, but these are familiar to me because I use them for my work as a professor, lecturer. So the recent one, Gemini 3, which is just newly launched last few days with more capability of its expert coding and mathematic helps, and they have next level of research intelligence. And one good thing, because Google offer students, I think students in Indonesia and their staff, like me, we are able to register for their student package. They offer 1 year free for us to use. So I'm not promoting it because Google did not sponsor me, but it's just free tools that you can use for 1 year for free. So you can search for that, Google Gemini for students. Okay, next. And based on the report by the Future of Jobs by World Economic Forum, I need to highlight this because this is related to our conference today. And the survey is actually conducted to 1,000 leading global employers across 22 economic and 22 industry clusters with 55 economics countries in which Malaysia and also Indonesia also have involved in this survey. And the study reported that the findings, number one, can we go next? Okay, it's all talk about the core skills of 2025 that you can get from the reports. I think students, if you wanted to find out more about this, you can go to the link and just search for that reports. And if you can see, analytical thinking, the light green color are important at the top 5, green color. It means some cognitive skills are required, okay, which is an important core skill. And we do have dark blue color, which is the skills on self-efficacy, okay, how we build our confidence and our competence in our job. So those skills are important, which is resilience, flexibility, and agility, coupled with motivation and self-awareness. Next is a light blue color, which is a leadership and social influence, or social influence, yes, correct. Those are also important skill sets for today's era. And the purple one, it is technological literacy. So those are the top 6 skills. I think we as educators, we must have that kind of a guide in terms of cognitive, and then, self-efficacy skills, then in terms of engagement skill, and definitely on technological literacy skill. In this era is AI literacy. Next. Okay. And the top 10 fastest growing skills in the report stated that purple color little bubble, which means technological skills, at the top 3 skills. What are they? AI and big data skills, network and cyber security, and technological literacy skills are at the top. Fast-moving skill set that we would like our students to have. And of course, there are some important core skills also come along. Creative thinking, resiliency, curiosity, and lifelong learning skills also come along, which also experiencing a lot of changes and fast-growing skills that we ought to acquire, okay, for preparing us in year 2030. Okay, that is it. And because my work with higher education well-being, so I'm very particularly quite keen to highlight these needs by the talents. Now in the technological development, people are fighting for talents. Okay, if you get a good talents, you pay them well, then they can have some breakthrough innovation for your company. So I am very attracted to this because talents, they want well-being. They want a company to offer them well-being and security of the jobs and the health. They want that. That is the feedback by the employer of the needs of talents, digital talents. And of course, other kind of needs, for example, like upscaling opportunity, rescaling opportunity, and promotion processes they like. And of course, what is more important for talent is about the offering of the wages. That's we commonly know. But well-being and employer health stands out to be the first. So in today's session, I would like to just highlight about this dual intelligence that I purposely have this little cute robot with a little heart there. So it's actually a technical intelligence, which is our AI and our generative AI technologies that is assist in our current era. So I have this good opportunity to observe that. I hope I can have the long life to observe how artificial intelligence is able to progress in our next few decades. Okay? And we have soft intelligence, which is me, you, and everyone. So this is a soft intelligence that we have. It has also a little heart at the central, and of course with the bubble cognitive aspect, dimension of the talents, and the little emotion aspect at the central, and the physical activities, you see, and the behavior of the talents. And what you can see is the environment outside the bubble that sometimes we neglect about it. So in terms of this dual intelligence, I will be dwelling into further on the next slide, which is one of the model that I think everyone should understand about what a soft intelligence like digital intelligence needed. That include me, you, and everyone, which is the dimension of the resiliency. Just now, Professor Werner have mentioned about resilience for the cities in Japan as a case study. However, when we bring back to the inner side of us as a person, as a system, so we do not neglect these important 4 parts or 4 dimensions of our being, which is the cognition resiliency, the emotion resiliency of a talents of us, and behaviors, and so as the physical aspect of the resiliency, so that we can withstand adversity that comes to us in this digital and AI transformation era. And not to forget, it's about the environment, has to be prepared, the individuals to have the kind of support, such as the family support, community support, and the societal support towards the resilient, all-rounded resilient approach. And therefore, these little resilient talents needs to be understood that there are some dimension involved in them, cognitive, the affection and emotion of the talents itself, and the behavior that they carry out. You know, what they do to build their resilience, that's also important. It is often very difficult sometimes to change certain behavior. I think you can agree with me because, yeah, a lot of times, because my husband is very obese, so I want him to have a healthy eating lifestyle. But that is so difficult to change his options of the food and the behavior, you know. So that is very challenge for me, okay. And of course, for us, we have many other behaviors that is also very difficult to be changed, or sometimes, you know, talents to build, you know, resilient talents. And of course, the physical activities and the body sensation is about the pressure, blood, for example, like, you know, heartbeat, you know, and then suddenly blood pressure, sometimes, you know, the sensation of the, you know, blood count, something like that, hormonal imbalance. So body sensations ought to be taken well care of, because it's all affect the resiliency of a talent, okay? And of course, those environment outside that sometimes we don't have control at all, okay? So it is us to understand our being as a resilient workers or resilient talents that we want to build up ourselves. Okay, okay. I'm citing this from our AI guru, the AI expert from the 1980s. If you search his name, Lee Kai-Fu, you can get his video sharing, okay? This is one of the slides that he mentioned, how that little technical character, you know, the robot has been trained. It has been trained, it's actually from all the data from the world. And he becomes so intelligent. So how the training processes happen? I think some of you maybe already know. This little talented robot has been pre-trained using massive data without human involvement. However, the next stage, they will be fine-tuned what the robot learned, and then with human involvement. And of course, afterwards, there will be like some prompting, some technical you know, processes to train this AI. And therefore, they become our ChatGPT, our Google Gemini, and DeepSeek, Copilot, etc. There are many others which is coming up and also updated about their models from time to time. Next. What about this? Usually, according to Lee Kai-Fu, the AI guru, he says that usually we take about like a few months to train this LLM, like Gemini just launched, Gemini 3.0, okay, 3. So, so they took about like few months. However, he says that, oh, we take about like 10 to 20 years to train a human expert like this person, a talent. So it took so long, it took so long to train them. Okay, and this is how we train a talent, you know, like, you know, BINUS University, you are going to train talents to serve the needs of the industry. So these are the processes to train talents. And it took some years. As according to Lee Kai-Fu, the AI guru, say, it took about like 20 years, right? Because we want to train a good student, we need to take about like that kind of duration to bring them up and to train them, to give them professional training and so on and so forth. And I would like to have The next slide, the next click. Okay, so we want to train a talent. So sometimes, okay, we train and train. Okay, we can serve the industry needs of this talent pool, and they can serve to the industry, especially on AI, cybersecurity, like what I mentioned, the fast-moving skills, right? And of course, cybersecurity, AI, all this. Do we train them fast? If we just train like that, it needs about 20 years to train them. And I would like to ask, sometimes they are not ready. They may not change, even though you train them in AI, they may not change. They may not work in AI sector. They will work in other sector. And then sometimes you train, but they become scammer. They become scammer nowadays because they want fast money. So do we train them well? Do we train them well? Because I have to raise these scamming issues because it happened rampantly. In our region, it affects lives. People saving, people lives just gone like that. Do we train them well? So that is my question to everyone. So next, we want to train some talents who are able to serve and contribute. And what if both AI and talents work together? This is how normally my experience, because I want to learn fast, so sometimes I train myself to work together with AI. And complementary, we can try to create an ecosystem that we can train talents or digital talents complementary with our little robots, our LLM, our generative AI, to make them as a powerful intelligence with this combination. And the talents has all the dimension to be supported, especially on the cognition aspect. That one, no doubts, because this little robot can train us well on that. You just ask them some personalized question. Yes, they can give you very good, very rich answer to your problem, whatever, okay? But in terms of the training, in terms of the behavior, that one probably AI can't help much, but everything is on our cognition and the emotions that affects, influence to our behavior and to our physical activities and our body sensation. So that's why I put a little heart. It means the kind of humanistic affections, affecting factor that also has to be trained and groomed in terms of the core skills that we mentioned earlier on. What are they? The core skills. And also the fast-growing skill set and adaptation to the fast-growing skill set. Are we ready? And also about resilient flexibility and analytical thinking skill set with this talent to be groomed and grow. Okay, so this is how I do when I work with my AI. That's me. I have so many talented AI or robots helping me along. So usually these are my experience. I use Google Gemini a lot because Gemini, you can create custom gems. Custom gems, I think it's worth it to be utilized by all of us because you do not need to every time explain your persona. You can just use a custom gem to use it, and they answer it based on your perspective, your persona. So I use custom gem a lot, and I use Notebook LM, which is a current revolutionized tools, and still I think Google is developing it, and this is very useful because Notebook LM, you can also cite, get to know your citation from where. This is very good for researcher. Notebook LM, because you can trace, this AI generated answer, where does this come from? So it can lead you to the articles that you uploaded. Moreover, Google give me free, 1 tera gig free in my Google OneDrive. So that is, I think we should encourage young people to use that for now because it's free and everybody affordable, effort to use that. And it gives to students. student and university lecturer also able to. Okay, and I used AI to help in my teaching. I also inform my student in design research class. I say, students, I'm okay if you use AI to be a tutor for you, because this semester I have large class, so I couldn't cope for many of the students. I say, please use your AI to coach you, to give you a tutor. If you want to ask me further, also can. So that's the words that I give to them. Because my university also have some AI use guideline, for research students. And they can use, but they have to declare and also follow certain guidelines, like declaration about usage. What do they use in what area, what criteria that they use. And I also use one app called SpeakUp, because SpeakUp helped me on my NGO activities, because we do charity and we need to do some, for me, I'm using anonymously for my charitable recipient reports. I need to write in Chinese. That is a Chi Foundation that I involve in my community. So sometimes I took my Sunday time, like the whole evening time to do the reporting. That takes me so much time, and I have other things to do. So I use AI to improve my productivity in writing report using SpeakUp or using ChatGPT. So that's helped a lot on my report. But I must say that it is actually anonymous. We don't put in like information about the care recipient information. And our NGO also provide training on us for that. So that speed up my productivity. And at the same time, I use SpeakUp also to do my writing. Let's say I want to do some simple writing. I use SpeakUp. I say, hey, I speak to them, and then they help me transcribe. I say, can you make my text, what I say, in a professional tone? So they, wow, those are very professional tones of my what I say, and the AI SpeakUp helped me on that. So I write like some intro, sometimes I write some introductory or whatever. So it helped me a lot, helped me a lot on that. And I do not know, how do you use AI for your work? So that is my experience on using AI. And how generative AI works, maybe a little bit info on how we have to use, how do we use AI, generative AI. Can we go to the next one? Which is the importance of prompt engineering. These are what guru in AI, they have informed us about the importance of prompt engineering so that we can get what we want and what the kind of desired outcome on the task, and then we can immediately use it, and we do not spend so much time, asking unnecessary questions. Okay, so prompt engineering, probably some simple guide. I think this is the best, the simple, the easiest guide for you. That is, first you need to identify the persona. Who are you? I always say, I am a design research professor or design research researcher. I want to teach my student what, on what subjects. So I key in what I want. I tell my Google, my GEMS, who is me, okay, what I want, and how my outcome is to be generated. So I just give her a kind of like a description about my GEMS, okay, Google GEMS. And then, and when you have your prompt, you started to do your prompt, so you just give some tasks. You just ask the Google Gemini to do some tasks for you. And sometimes you need to provide the context, because understanding, knowledge, and everything, we know the importance of context. What perspective you come from in order to get the best result of your AI technique or AI questions. So you must provide the background to AI. And if you can, you provide the kind of format, what you want. You say, list a table. Okay, list a table. And AI, they will list for you according to your structure of what you want. So this is where AI can help us on our job, daily tasks. And some examples, because we do some training to some teachers to prepare lesson plan, so I prepared this particular slide for them. Even a better prompt. Sometimes weak prompt, these are not so good. Better prompt like that, okay? But even a better prompt should be like this in the bolded text, okay? Act as a creative science teachers, create a 60 minutes lesson for year 8 on photosynthesis, include learning objective, hands-on activities and differentiations, present in a table format. Blah, 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 it will generate for you. So this can help teachers to improve their productivity and to give them more ideas, creative ideas on that, all right? Okay, and no doubts, all AI gurus say this, responsible AI use, because AI has some problems on accuracy, it has problems on bias, especially most AI LLM is developed in United States, all right? So they have some bias. Human being, anything also has bias. So we have to have this understanding. And sometimes, through my experience, AI did generate some mistake, especially when your source to notebook LM is not clean, so it has hallucinate. It gives me wrong parameters. But many of the parameters are correct, but some parameters, because they derive from certain table, so it's not able to give me an accurate outcome. So we need to fast check, and Google also remind everyone that Google has mistake. Okay, Google has mistake. You need to check. Google remind everyone also. Okay, and as a responsible users of AI, we need to have privacy, like what I say, my charitable care recipient, I don't put in their IC or their name or what, it's just about their report, about their situation, sometimes. Okay, next, originality, AI output is the starting point, infused with your expertise. So usually when I generate it, I also altered and change what is suited to what I want to say. I double check in Notebook LM of the sources. So this also important. Notebook LM is quite useful. And also be transparency, be open about AI usage in the publication sector, like what we want to publish paper, right, after this conference. So if you are using AI, you need to declare somewhere, acknowledge. Yeah, AI has been used in the literature review section. You have to declare. So that shows you are a responsible user. 5 more minutes. Okay, thank you. And I also wanted to conclude about my almost 3 decades reflection about the use of multimedia technologies and my education experience, that I can observe that there are a lot of breakthroughs on multimedia technologies, and now the revolution of AI, interactive AI technologies, agentic AI, and artificial general intelligence, AGI, it's coming. There will be more revolution in the coming decades, in these decades coming now. And for us, I think we as a talents, we need to embrace and positively see these technologies rather than the dark side of the technologies. Otherwise, we cannot move forward. And sometimes my colleagues and my students also feel very frustrated because they are the design students and their roles will be taken over by the AI. So that is their big concern, and they are reluctant to change. Okay, they are reluctant to change. It creates distress for these students. They think, hey, will AI replace me for the future job? So they are not able to get a good job after their graduation, right? But we see technologies is so powerful, so we embrace it. But we know its capability and its challenges for us, the dark side of it, right? And we know AI, if it's used by the wrong hand, it will create that kind of impact to the wrong act and wrong consequences to the society or to the intelligent people. Okay, so we got to be very careful on that. And for us, we ought to adapt to the new technologies in our career. For me, I think in my curriculum and also my academic program, and also to my teaching and to my students' learning, my own learning as well. And one thing that never changed is throughout these years, I keep learning new things. I keep learning new things and new technologies, new methods, and new tools, new software. I have to relearn and learn again. Previously, I learned a lot on Macromedia and Adobe Flash. I learned a lot on those scripting language. Now, no need to learn that. Now become vibe coding or whatever, right? So keep learning. There are new strategies. We just be open towards that. And next, so some key takeaway is all about the attitudes, how we see new technologies such as AI and generative AI. And one key message is all about the little heart, red heart on us, which is the talent wellness. Because learning happens all times, and learning is not easy. Learning is not easy because the expert of grow mindset, Carol Dweck said so. Learning for everyone is not easy. It's a very personalized thing. It's not easy. So we must embrace it. Must embrace your learning. Your learning. Learn about life skill for wellness. Because if you as a digital talent, you are not well, every day you are sick and taking MC, or every morning you are distressed, you can't move forward. So what you need to do is to keep yourself well, and enjoy your learning. You love what is the new things. This is the attitude we must have. We got to embrace new things, because wellness is functioning optimally within your current environment. You can't complain so much. Good technology is there. What you need to do is to leverage on it and contribute to the society, to the environment, to your school, to the society, to those who really need your help. So that is the key message. We must embrace life skill for wellness. What is life skill? Life skill is quite different from soft skill. Many professors say that life skill and soft skill are different. Life skill is a skill that you can adapt and you have positive behavior for it, all right? Enable individuals to deal effectively with the demand and challenges of everyday life that you are facing. So with that, I believe we as teachers or lecturers and our students face the same challenge as well. So sometimes we need to understand what our students face in their life. Yeah? So that is where we have to embrace the good attitude and also the talent's wellness. I think that's about it. Thank you, ICTIM, for inviting me. And next, I think, some references of my talk today. My slide is actually with Dr. Rido, so if you want it, it can be disseminated. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Cho, for the insightful presentations. We are truly appreciate your experience and also your contributions on that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now have a Q&A session for 10 minutes. You may raise your hand and then state your questions, but before that, please don't forget to state your name and your affiliation. Okay, so for the first part, we open for 2 questions. Yes, Pak Sabar? Okay, you may address your questions, Pak.
I'm Sabar from BINUS Online, from Management Department. Professor Ko, you mentioned before there are lots of changing from the presence of generative AI. With the more automation and more production that we ever made without AI, with more production and more creation that we made with AI, compared without AI, do you think that we are heading to the new paradigm of humanity, where we are going to enter the new, maybe we call it the new Platonic era, where we are not only focusing on the productivity, because AI can produce more, but we need to be more aware, to be more humanity, to be more self-aware, or morality. Maybe those kind of skills is interesting for us, maybe in this kind of era. What do you think about this era going to be in the future, Prof. Ko? Do you get the question?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Prof. Yeah.
Yes.
That's my first question. I have the second question later. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Probably you can reply, please.
Yes, I speak on behalf as my personal knowledge and also experience, because I want to see the next decade what AI can do. For me, I embrace AI. Sometimes not faculty because sometimes university are resist of change. Academic program also very resistant on some change. So to me, if personally, I want to see how AI can be used for the improvement of mankind. I want it to be used to convey the message and the communication that I feel weak, that I can use it for at this moment. Because to create a good animation, it takes so long to create it and require a bigger team. Want to produce a film also takes so long. To create that movies, animation. My personal view, I want to use AI, but the content. We must deliver good content to the audience, to the public. We want shorter time, but optimize that message. I want that. That is my personal view. So we must fight, some dark side of the humanities. We want to bring peace. We want to give people food on the table, and education to be more common. So that is what I want. I want AI to be used for good message, for learning about skills, upskilling. Yeah, and also AI and people to build human connection, to build, the human connectivity. So I want to use AI for that, just for the good message. And sometimes how to convey good message is through a very good production team, deliver it in the cinema, in the mass media, so we can get the message through. It's able to make some impact and influence. Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Prof. Ko. If so, then do you have any practical tech wellness in the end of the presentation? You mentioned about the wellness. Is there any practical tech wellness that we need to cultivate to this kind of digital workers? So we are not ending in the endless productivity, but also getting a deeper growth by using AI. Thank you.
Yes, tech wellness is an emerging concept, and many people also talk about that. I think for me, because I also quite busy at work, so sometimes I don't really practice tech wellness. But deep in because my research is on wellness for my students and also my colleagues, fellow colleagues and friends and families, So I always embrace whatever that is good for me. And in the era of mobile apps, I think there are a lot of innovation on e-mental health, and also some solution by the company as well to promote wellness for the employees. So there are like some wellness application that now my company also using. We are using BookDoc to inculcate people to have healthy lifestyle. So some people, they like it, so they embrace it. They even can win some, it's a gold bar, something like that, when they, maintain their BMI to the optimum. That is a reward given through the apps. So some colleagues, they want to try that because it's a very attractive, they can get gold, so that one. And apart from that, my take is actually our self-regulation. Self-regulation of, like what I say, we got to be very disciplined in terms of the nutrient that we take, in terms of the sources of the information that come from social media or whatever. We have the responsibility to be responsible on your cognition and also your affection on what kind of media you want to consume. That's very important. For me, I only consume positive media. I consume positive media. I want to consume media related to love, to good things about mankind. I want to build my perspective on that. But of course, through mass media, we know what happened every day. Don't follow mass media too much because mass media report a lot of noisy news, So that is my take to maintain my wellness. And I know physical wellness is very important. So I know because Japan is the elderly people, they have the longest longevity. So I go and learn a little bit. So I know Japanese, I think Professor Werner is very aware on that. So we can try to learn about what is their nutrient, what is the food that they eat. So with that, then you can cultivate your health in the long term. Okay, for young talent, students, BINUS University students, you must cultivate your wellness right now, starting from your teenage age, so that you don't get, the kind of NCD, because in Malaysia, I think everybody knows, we are the most obese countries in ASEAN, okay? With obesity comes with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and also, the three things. Okay, so you need to cultivate since now. Cannot cultivate when you are 40s or 50s. You can't get that. So I'm actually feel my body and wellness is quite good because I take my time to do a little bit of that. I maintain more plant-based diet because I believe plant-based diet with rich nutrient. I think everyone if you read some scientific works, plant-based diet is able to provide micronutrients to our diet. So try embrace that, more plant-based diets. It's not religious matter, it's for health matters. So far I feel good about my health. I seldom get flu or sore throats. So far so good. Touch wood. Touch wood. This is one of the things. Okay, that's my sharing on my personal. It's actually a personal view through some reading in terms of research.
Okay, thank you for the inspiring answer, Miss. And then now we still have one more question. Yes, Bu Azalia, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the inspiring presentation. My name is Azalia Mohransha. This is very relevant for me because I'm an assistant professor at the film department. And so, thank you so much also for your generosity to give us the copy of your presentation. I would like to review it again later and maybe share it to my colleagues. My question would be, maybe, I hope this would also relate to you as a creative multimedia faculty, because I teach AI filmmaking in one course, but also in another course, I teach a film analysis course, right? So they must not use any AI in that course, right? So it's kind of like this binary. And I also see this kind of binary in a classroom discussion where there are students who embrace it like maybe 1000%, so they just like copy and paste whatever AI gave them. But like on the other side, there are students who are very resistant towards AI, you know, like morally, philosophically, you know, there are this kind of like debate on like the environmental effect of AI and whatnot. So I would like to ask you as a professor, what would you tell your students when they are resistant in embracing the AI technology? Thank you.
My student, one PhD working on AI and IP. AI and IP, right now I think are still in the blurring sections. Blurring, there is no any legal aspect on AI and IP, especially copyrights. And resistance, of course, is there. However, in terms of this, resistance, sometimes we can actually leverage on the strategies is probably, because I know a lot of AI tools, a lot of film tools also, they incorporate AI. Okay, for example, like the music production, it can be just produced by Suno, which is a very powerful music software. Then it created by AI, So sometimes some tools for your student, you can still use the existing tools. They introduce AI perspective, so they can use it to, introduce AI in their production and also to do film for it, rather than totally resist and not embracing it. A lot of tools are also coming up because they're aware the revolution of AI. If their software is not improved based on AI elements, it will be obsolete. So Adobe has a lot of facilities on that. So you introduce that kind of facilities to your students gradually for some improvement of, or maybe productivity of their film production. So rather than say no. So because technology is there for us to use and to improve our productivity, what is more important is about transparent about using it. Because there are artists or writers also, they are transparent. They even declare the usage of how AI and human collaborate to do that piece of the good work that they produce. And many other tools are coming. Many other tools, you can even create one very nice animation using some animation tools to create industry level kind of animation. I have seen that. It's just my personal view. I'm not from animation background. It's just that sometimes I look into what other people use using AI. So to understand the psychology of the learners and the instructor, so sometimes we embrace AI through some component of the AI tools that is available in the software. I think embrace that kind of features will be a good strategies to deal with this situation. A gradual transition and evolution for AI in our era. That's my point. Thank you.
Yeah. Does it answer your question, Miss? Okay. Thank you very much for your interesting answers. So let's give a big applause to Prof. Koh. So ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this session. But before I end this session, I'd like to wrap up some key points from the second keynote talk today. Generative AI serves as a powerful collaborator that transforms how digital talent work and grow. By combining responsible AI use with a growth mindset and tech wellness principles, we can enhance our productivity while developing the resilience and innovations needed to thrive in the AI era. So that's the end of our sessions today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Joyce, for moderating this session. And Ms. Joyce, may you can come to your seat. Prof. Ku, just stay in the stage because we will give the token of appreciation. Also, I invite Prof. Warner and also Prof. Anita to come to the stage. And also, I would invite Prof. Juneman, Ibu Retno, dan Dr. Rido to give the token of appreciation and also the certificate for all our keynote speaker. Dr. Anita will give the keynote speaker for the third person for tomorrow session, online session tomorrow. But we invite Prof. Anita today. Prof. Juneman will give to the Prof. Warner first the certificate and also the token of appreciation. Take a picture together. And also the certificate. Prof. Jun. Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. For the second, Bu Retno will give to the Professor Ku. Okay, we take a picture first. And next for the certificate also. Okay, great. Okay, and the third one, Dr. Rido will give to the Prof. Anita. Okay, for the certificate. Okay, we take a picture together, all of you in the middle. So I will invite Bu Hartiwi also to take a picture together with the keynote speaker and okay. Oh, okay, I invite all the deputy director from the BINUS Online, Dr. Budi, Dr. Hartiwi, and Ibu Fini. May all of you come closer, move forward. Can all move forward. The moderator also, we invite Dr. Joyce, come to the stage. We take a picture together. Bapak Ismail also, we take a picture together, please. Okay, good. Okay, count on me. 1, 2, 3. Smile, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have a sign for BINUS Online. Okay. It's okay, Prof. Warner. Okay, good, everyone. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay. Okay. May all of you can back to the seat. Okay. Thank you. Okay, everyone. It's now time for our lunch break. We will resume with the highly anticipated parallel session promptly at 1 p.m. Please enjoy your lunch. The committee also provide the lunch over there. And we look forward to seeing you refreshed for the next segment. I will info for the room for the parallel session. We have 3 modes here. We have on-site session in here in the auditorium. And we have a hybrid session. We have in the room C212, also in room 210, and also in the room 201 for the hybrid session. And the session 2, 4, 7, and 8 is online session. It's all via Zoom. So before we conclude, please take a note for the schedule. If you present tomorrow, we will start at 9 a.m. followed by another round of keynote and parallel session. Thank you once again for your participation. We wish you all a pleasant day and look forward to welcoming you back tomorrow morning. Thank you very much, everyone.